Oh!
I'm sorry, what?
That is genius. The song Lie is an absolute masterpiece, but I'm explaining why musicians specifically love this song just so much. All right, let's get started. So I'll be focusing on three main concepts throughout the video. First is the feeling of being trapped. The second is tension and suspense, specifically the kind of tension and suspense you would feel if you came across a snake that was leering at you. And then the last one is freedom, starting off with this melodic, spooky, unexpected string intro. I feel like it something immediately is kind of off about the song. And I feel like it almost entrances you and draws you into the song so much more. And then it drops you into this ostinato section. Ostinatos basically means that you have something that's repetitive over and over in music. Let me let Jimin explain it to you.
You're so lovely, I'm so lovely, we're so lovely, 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 lovely.
And once it hits that ostinato section, I really feel like the pace of the song just picks up so much. It's luring you in, and then it grabs you. And then once the song grabs you, it really, really doesn't let go. Which is, again, where that feeling of being trapped kind of comes into it. It lures you in the beginning, traps you right off the bat, and then you're just living in this world of the song until it's over, really. I feel like most commercially successful pop songs are going to be in the call 4/4. Meaning if I were to count along to it, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is in something called 6/8. Very, very different. And what it basically comes down to when you're counting through it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think by doing that, having those pulses on the first and the fourth beat of that, it really, I feel like just right when you think you're going to escape from it, it's right back into it. And it's so unrelenting that it just draws you in. And I think this whole intro kind of feels like a movie score almost. Is this the sound that this is setting up and everything for the entire song, really.
From the strings to the pianos to the vocals to this cinematic feeling, I feel like this is I'm in a suspenseful film. And Jimin has just dropped this masterpiece musical score into the film.
Then comes the drop into the vocals, which I think is just the best way to introduce vocals into this section of the song. Already the ostinato section is bringing in a ton of tension with this repetitive, can't escape feeling. And then having that break for a second just to have it come back in again. That tension is metaphorically shown in the lyrics as well, with "Don't be like a prey, be smooth like a snake." Again, I just think that Jimin knew what he was doing when writing the song, and really all of them did, of course, right? But having those lyrics match the feeling of that, I think just cements it even more. Then that screaming howl almost that goes up, it just really feels to me like someone's trying to gasp for breath almost. It's that metaphorical text painting of what's going on in the song, right? It doesn't have to tell you what you should be feeling in the lyrics. It just does it by how it's arranged and composed. It just draws that sensation, I think, from you.
They say great songs have tension and then release.
Then we go on to one of my favorite sections of the song, the pre-chorus. And not only is it because it has this kind of almost swung jazz kind of feel to it, which I think is because Doc Skim, who was the producer and one of the writers of the song, he has a background in jazz and in R&B and soul. He actually even mentions it in this interview from Bandwagon. And I think that influence, it's such, again, unique aspects. You have the strings as this classical side. You have the majority of the song is kind of in this pop kind of space. Almost rock elements sometimes too. But then having this section be almost jazz influenced, I think it morphs, again, into this this trap, because there's so many different things to draw you in and to draw your attention while you're still within the same scope of the song. And then having the melody be this like sequenced pattern, meaning that the melody is the same while the bass notes are changing in each measure, and they're stepping up, which is unusual. You usually don't have like a linear progression in the chords. And it's this entire section, again, is the absolute epitome of tension and release. The entire section just like sucks everything out of you, just waiting to get to the chorus. And there's even a line that says, it continues, even if I try running away, I'm drowned in lies. Again, the idea of drowning in lies, when earlier we heard that gasping for breath. And even Caitlin Benson in her reaction said,
I can't breathe. I can't breathe, y'all.
And then Valeska Herrera, who explained it as,
So you get that, like you're gasping for fresh air, and then they drown you back down again.
And then
It's
it's
like what? It's like you're choking for air. It's so
Yeah,
freaking cool. I really like this.
what's amazing about both of these situations is that the reactors probably didn't get that deep into the lyrics into that moment. They probably didn't really read that and then, you know, act because of it. It just brought out that feeling in them, which again is that like metaphorical text painting, and how the song itself is drawing out the emotions and the feelings that the lyrics themselves and the story, I think, of the song and like what it's telling. And that takes us to the part that I think you've all been waiting for, which is the chorus. The moment we go from a minor key to a major key on the line, caught in a lie. And the word lie is exactly when we switch to major. I'm sure by this point all of you know the idea that the major sound, this happy thing that the major chord kind of brings us, is in itself the lie. But I want to explain why and how we get to that point and how they created the song in that moment. So speaking to what it means when you have a major chord versus a minor chord. The major chord, in its most basic sense, would be the first, third, and fifth note of the major scale. Minor chord would be the first, third, and fifth note of the minor scale. Now, the difference between them is not as much as you might think. The difference between them is only one note. That note is the third. So in this situation, what's happening is we expect it to go to that third note, but instead of it being the minor version, it's raised, and now we have this major version. And this kind of change, going from an expected minor chord to a major chord, is called a Picardy third. And the reason is because, again, it is that third note is all that changes. So the beautiful part about the melody of this song is, guess what note Jimin is singing when he is singing the word lie? It is the major third. If he had sung a minor third instead, boom, we're staying in this minor section. But because he sings up to that major third on the word lie, he has now stated that this happy feeling is in itself the lie, just with that one single note being changed. So I did reach out to someone on my Discord who plays piano, and I asked her to record two different versions for me. This first version is going to show you exactly on the piano how it sounds, the original version of the song. Then I asked her to do the exact same thing, but instead keeping it in a minor key. So we're not going to go to the major on a lie, and I want to show you how it sounds and how the feeling of the song changes, and just how important it is that Jimin is singing that major note, and just how it affects the entire melody of the song as a whole. But when it comes to this metaphorical text painting, it almost pales in comparison to what happens during the bridge. There's so much tension being built when you have the string section playing these counter melodies, so something different than what Jimin is singing. It to me just kind of feels like this like swirling sensation of everything all around you and someone getting to their breaking point, which I think is completely shown in the very last scream that Jimin does at the end of the bridge. But the most interesting part to me about this scream is the note that he's screaming. The note he's screaming is a C sharp. The chord in that moment is a C sharp major chord. He is singing the like bass note of the chord, which is also known as the root. In the lyrics, this section, the line is, "But the overgrown lie is trying to swallow me." This lie is overtaking him. It is becoming part of him. You could say it is now at the root of him, which I don't need to explain. This scream to me is like the final desperate cry trying to escape the lie. And then everything else afterwards is like this next section of the drop chorus is almost like this feeling of defeat to me. It's like tried to escape the lie, but the lie has now swallowed him. He is now at a place where there is no more escape. And then the last final big chorus of the song is to me just the lie like reinforcing its hold on him. All the way up until the very end of the song, we revisit that ostinato section in the strings, which again is just reinforcing the idea of still being in that cyclical trap of the lie.
I'm caught, like there's no escape. I keep trying to run, but like I'm not getting anywhere.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It has been a really long time in the making, but I do plan on making more of this style of video. So if you have any other songs you'd like to recommend, please let me know down in the comments below. And also give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys next time.